you've got it planted in the ground, it's starting to grow, it's getting a little bigger. Here are loblollies. These have been in the ground about 1.5 years, and you can see they need to be legged up. This one already at its lowest level is starting to grow into our roadway here, and it's causing us a problem. It's already in conflict with traffic. This is why you leg them up when they're small. So what you're going to do is we're going to leg these up from the bottom. This lateral branch we're going to start with is maybe 1 inch across at the base. It's still at a point where you can do this by yourself without getting a professional out if necessary. But again, no more than 15 to 20% of the tree in any given season. Do this in the winter when possible, and it's the less stress on the tree. And start legging it up season by season to keep it nice and safe. If we waited another 3 years, you'd have to have a professional crew with power tools out here to do this. Cost you a lot of money. Right now, we can still do this by ourselves with both light pruners and pair of loppers, okay? So we're gonna take this, and I'm gonna pick a point, right here about 3 feet up from the ground level, and we're gonna start lopping these off to get access to this big lateral that is causing problems here. Again, I'm finding my branch root collar, getting as close as I can to the trunk without impinging on that collar. Okay, a little bit bigger here. I'm going to use my loppers here. Now eventually, if this pine tree were left to its own devices, as it got bigger and bigger and the top branches shade out these lower ones, the tree, for lack of a better term, kind of turns off the physiology of the lower branches and it self-prunes, if you will. But right now we've already got a conflict with the roadway, so we're not going to let it do that, okay? Now as you get much bigger here, if we had to use a hand saw, what you would want to do is make a partial cut from the bottom and then a top cut, and then you avoid tearing tissue below here when it comes down. This is still plenty small enough, however, to use these loppers. I'm getting right next to the collar, and a couple of hints. When you're doing a little bit bigger branches, get the branch deep into the crotch of your blades. If you do it up here, you have a lot less cutting power. Get it real deep, and then your hands put all the way at the end. Don't do it up here. Put all the way at the end, and you get the mechanical advantage of the long handle, okay? So right up against that collar, and off that comes. Real easy, okay? Couple more here. And we're gonna move around to the side here and get these other branches, and we're gonna prune them off as they're in conflict with the road. So here, I don't want to do this whole branch. We'd be over pruning the tree from a physiological perspective. One thing to remember when you're pruning, everything that's green on here is chlorophyll, right? It's got chlorophyll in it. That's food for the tree. It's taking sunlight, it's taking heat energy, and it's making food. So if you take away more than 15 to 20% of the green making capacity of this tree, you're essentially calorie restricting the tree, and you create all kinds of problems with it, okay? So we don't want to over prune. So on this one, rather than take off this whole big branch, I'm just going to prune it back away from the roadway. So I'm just going to pick a junction here where there's a smaller branch, and again I'm going to go to a branch collar. There we go. I've still got some nice green there. And then in a year or so, we'll prune again, okay? So here, I'm gonna go right to this union and prune there. Here, we'll go to this union here. Here. We'll go to there. Cut that one off. You still, I'm maintaining most of that branch, okay? And then here we'll do one more. There and there. Okay, so There we've got a fair amount off. Eventually I'm going to want this another, you know, a good 4 feet higher than this. And actually over a roadway I may even go up to even, you know, 10 to probably 14, 15 feet above this roadway as the trucks come through here to load and offload our trees. I'll need that 15 foot or so of clearance. So over sidewalk pedestrians, I generally like 8 or 9 feet. Over the roadway, 14 to 15 feet. But this is a good start. And again, eventually we'll get this all legged up and there'll be no conflict whatsoever with either the trucks or the pedestrians.